I'm just going to say that I don't know how long we might go with this episode because I got some gas. I hope it's gas. It's chest pain I got over here. And so I don't know how much of this conversation I'm going to be in. It might just be Cobweb and Deb talking today because I'm feeling kind of out of it.
Oh, man, bro. I didn't even know. You know what you got to get, though,
What's that?
You got to drink more malt liquor.
More malt liquor.
Yeah, that'll get that gas out of you. Malt liquor will. That's why you don't ever see black people in the hood talking about they got gas issues. They drink all that damn malt liquor.
Okay. I can neither confirm or deny this, so I'm not gonna touch it.
It's okay.
Yeah. Did I mention we are recording already?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Deb, you supposed to be warning me about stuff like this.
You have been warned.
Wow.
Right.
Hey, don't you have a list of hashtags we're supposed to be using?
Yes, I do have a list of hashtags we're supposed to be using.
Do you put it in the Dream Team drop?
I think so. There's a list of hashtags that we are supposed to use. Because they are our hashtags.
You have been warned. Cast of the Pod.
Right.
Cast of the Pod NRG. Club 3P. Don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Right.
I was actually thinking,
we have to hit the you've been warned hard. We got to take that one over.
Yes, I agree. I was actually going to get an NRG battery tattoo.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I influenced you to get some art on your body permanently?
Sure.
Wow. I feel really important right now.
You are important.
Yeah.
You're
I know.
the cobwebs.
Yeah, the cobwebs, apparently.
Hey, man. When you say it like that, it's like I'm in third person, It's like I'm listening to myself and talking about myself at the same time.
Do you, in your private life, talk about the cobwebs to people? You're like,
at times.
You're like, this is a good tracksuit that the cobwebs would wear.
Right. Sometimes, I'd be like, I have to remind myself which one I am at that time. If I'm cobwebbing it or whatever,
Wow. Something was said years ago by a friend of mine that was just being honest. To be honest with you, he was just being honest, and I'm not making fun of him for saying this, but it was something that I was like, interesting. So my other name, back when I was doing a whole bunch of Juggalo stuff with ICP and when I was working with Strange Music and all that stuff, as a name that I reclaimed for myself that my brothers used to call me because I was a premature baby, right? Which leads to some of my health issues now. They used to call me Born Dead, which is also from a Project Born CD, Born Dead. It's also from Ice-T's Body Count, Born Dead. So I called myself Born Dead. Anyways, so as friends do, they get into disagreements, and sometimes, disagreements get bigger and bigger. And I think it was forever ago. I think he was telling somebody else in our group. He wasn't hiding it, but he was saying it, or was he telling me something like that? Anyways, the line was, "Born Dead is cool. Josh is an asshole."
What the fuck is this dude?
No,
hold up a second.
No, hold on. Wait.
I get it. But I can see I can't see the whole thing as Josh being an asshole because you're not an asshole.
What?
But yeah, Born Dead is cool. I mean, like Cobweb is cool.
You got
and then
jokes
Kid is
today.
cool too. He's a cool ass son of a bitch. But I get it.
Wait. Say it again. Say that Josh is not an asshole. Say it, please.
Yeah, Josh is not an asshole.
Cobwebs got those jokes today. Man, how does Chucky say that? I can't even say cobs webs. Cobs
And
webs.
you forgot
The plural of the plural. The cobs webs
the
webs.
cobwebs. And the Debs.
Hey, dude. Do me a favor.
What?
Hit the intro.
Oh shit. Nah, last week when I was like, oh shit, and they hit the intro, that was legit. That was 100% legit. And right now with my oh shit about the intro, that was straight up fake.
Is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
Hey, remember this week, Deb is the you have been warned.
Oh,
What?
yes.
Yeah.
I was driving in the car the other day thinking about it.
Yep. Deb, remember at the end of the episode, you're going to be the one that says you have been warned. But shh, don't tell nobody. Spoiler alert.
You just spoiled it for me because I forgot.
Oh, well, talking to your microphone. I can barely hear you.
Because I'm sitting back. Lean back.
Yeah,
Lean back.
now's not the time.
Lean
to-
back. Well, I have to stretch my legs.
Deborah's got to go run a 5K after this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So,
Wait, I don't understand. You have to stretch your legs, Deb. But you're only like, how tall are you?
4'11".
Oh, you really got jokes.
Cobweb has jokes.
I have a condition in my legs, and my legs are swollen today.
Deb and I are how you say
Fucked up.
fucked up. Yeah. Now, we are not as fucked up as the movie we're going to talk about today. The 1923. What the hell? The 2023 R-rated, hour-and-a-half long Evil Dead Rise.
Wait.
So I knew I was gonna watch this movie. I wanted to watch this movie. It was on my list of have to, no matter what, regardless movies to watch. But Cobweb went and saw the movie first, and then he was like, "You need to watch the movie. You need to watch the movie." And I'm like, "Bro, I know we're gonna watch movies." He's like, "No, you need to watch a movie. You need to watch a movie. You need to watch a movie." So Deb and I went and watched the movie. Are you happy now, Cobweb?
Actually, I am very happy right now. The Cobweb is very pleased.
The cop. Well, so I do have to let you know, since we're talking about that, we do have a call today, and it is from Chucky. I have heard it, and we'll play it at the end.
Okay.
Man, it's obviously there's a reason why you're playing it at the end.
Well, I mean, he gives his
What?
rating and everything like that, so
Right. So he saw it too.
allegedly.
I don't want to know anymore.
No,
I don't want to know
no
anymore.
spoilers, no spoilers.
I don't want to know anymore.
So
I can't handle that.
Evil Dead Rise is canon with Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and the remake of Evil Dead with Ashley in it. All three of the
Okay.
all of these movies, 1, 2, 3, 1, and now 1, all 5 of these movies are canon and in the same universe. Did you know that?
No.
I can see that happening. I mean, it seems kind of like the same. The same concept.
Of things happening through and through.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, let's get into the breakdown of it. A twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable.
Man, why?
Directed by
shit's fucked up.
Lee Cronin. Written by Lee Cronin. Stars Mirabai Peace, Richard Crouchley, Anna Marie Thomas, and a whole bunch of other people.
Man.
The tagline is...
Let me just say this.
Real quick. The tagline is Mommy loves you to death.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Lee Cronin. We got our eye on you.
Somebody needs to watch this guy.
Yeah, somebody needs to be watching this guy. He wrote and directed it.
Yep.
He had the vision and he wanted it to get it crystal clear.
I know we had the warning in the beginning, but any of you pod people, if you have not seen the movie and don't like spoilers, go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. No, I mean, anyways. So before we get into everything, we didn't take care of business. All our social medias for Cast of the Pod, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they're at Cast of the Pod. Our Patreon pod people, which are our favorite peoples, is patreon.com/Cast of the Pod. Shout out to Brendan from Upkick MMA. Shout out to Sam Hain, Samhain, Miss Black Cat, and to our anonymous nobody. Thank y'all very much. You're appreciated more than you know. Now we're going to get from the business back into the business of the podcast that is Cast of the Pod.
For sure.
See, short and sweet that time. Didn't even talk about all that extra stuff or saying Cast of the Pod, or anything.
It was actually that was actually enjoyable.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
you're getting pretty good at this job.
Yeah, I
Short
was
and
going to say
sweet.
he's doing pretty good.
Are y'all saying that I don't entertain? Am I not here to entertain you?
You are here to entertain us.
What am I, a
I'm
fucking clown?
entertained.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay, cool.
So put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself.
I didn't say that.
How do I mute him? Oh, that's not the button. I can still hear him. Okay, so this movie jumps right into it. Right into
Yeah, it does.
And I don't remember exactly how it links into itself, but it starts off, they're out in the cabin, and they do the camera over the water, just like Evil Dead 2 and Evil Dead 1. And it looks like it's going to be another cabin out in the woods movie.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
this triangle shaped cabin in the middle of that spherical lens with the trees bent in and all that, it looked pretty fresh. I'll tell you that right now.
It did. It was nice. It was a nice area.
Yeah.
I would have liked it. If I went camping, that's where I would be.
Yeah.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, there's this one girl, and she gets scared by the asshole boyfriend of her cousin. And then she goes to complain to her cousin about the asshole boyfriend, and cousin is sick. And she starts reading Wuthering Heights. And as she's reading it, cousin sits up with her back towards her and starts reading out loud exactly where the good cousin is reading at in the books. I thought that was pretty fresh. I'll tell you that right now. I
That
thought
junk was
different.
hard, man. Yeah.
What'd you think, Deb?
I liked it. That part scared me. I was like, what the fuck?
There's a
And
lot
I
of
was
things
like,
that scared me about this.
yeah. And I was like, at this point, I would be,
Gone.
yeah, like not in the room. Like, why do you even have to be in there in the room and with her?
You know what happened so fast though? It happened. It went from 0 to 100 really quick.
Yeah. As soon as she checked on her on the floor, she's like, "Are you okay?" And she grabbed her by the ponytail and made her fucking Hulk Hogan. And
Oh my
See,
goodness.
if she would have left right when she was reading,
she still would have had her hair
Yep.
and her head.
she could have ran to tell the boyfriend.
If you don't get the
Okay.
Hulk Hogan joke, she grabbed her by the ponytail, and all the part that was connected to that ponytail to that braid got ripped off the top of her head. And then she just
Yep.
had the whammy from Anchorman fucking side of her head, the skullet.
Yep.
That's all
That was
she had.
ugly.
So then they cut back to
Man,
the
that
boy.
was hard.
Yeah, they cut back to the asshole boyfriend who's out on the dock, right? And like, oh, well, if your friends would have been here, but your friends didn't show up, blah 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 blah. He's got a drone, and then here comes Skullet Girl. She's like, help me. She falls over on her knees and all that. And then here comes the cousin, the sick cousin, grabs the drone, hits herself in the face with the drone,
Man, right?
falls into the water. You see the blood raising in the water. How does the boyfriend fall into the lake?
He jumps in there.
He jumped.
To
yeah,
save
he
her.
did.
To
He
save
jumped
her.
in there to save her.
And then all of a sudden, lots of blood comes out through the water. And then she does a carry or a bright burn or some kind of
She floats out of the water.
floats out of the water. When people float up in the air and then their toes are pointing down,
Oh,
that shit's scary. I'm just gonna say that.
that was so hard.
And then in the background, it just pops up Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Okay, now that, my friends, is the way you start a movie.
It's
Okay.
almost as good as Ghost Ship.
That is way better than Ghost Ship, man. That is way better than Ghost Ship.
No, I think it's up there with Ghost Ship.
That way,
Thank you,
that
Dave.
whole
Thank you.
ending, how that came up like that, it was just so impactful. You know,
Yeah, but
I'm
remember
still-
Ghost Ship, how they all died.
I'm still gonna tell you the best intro to any movie ever, all movies ever. I'll tell you the number one best intro ever.
okay.
Mortal Kombat, the first one. Movie starts.
I gotta go back. I gotta watch it.
It says New Line Cinema, fade to black. Then it says Mortal Kombat. There you go. Movie starts. None of that extra bullshit or anything like that. It just,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
best movie
Been a
intro
minute since I've seen
ever.
that one. Okay. And maybe
Okay.
I don't agree with that one,
You said maybe
but
you
I
don't
think this
agree
is.
with that
Hey,
one?
hey, Deb, did you see the milk?
Dude, this movie was filled with milk. Milk does not do
Oh.
a body good.
Oh,
I was like,
man,
the
when she
milk?
first started throwing up that milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew it was like when you saw the milk come out, when she started throwing up, you knew that you were in for a long Evil Dead night.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's like, okay, now I know Sam Raimi's a producer, Bruce Campbell's the producer, but as soon as you saw the different colored body fluids getting puked up,
That's just nasty.
they do a lot of body horror. Later on, when they're in the apartment and she starts puking up chunks of looks like ants.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then when she threw up, it was like milk too.
Yep.
You
So-
know.
so-
But remember what they said in the first movie, that the reason why they used the milk because it was too much blood.
Yeah, just to tone down the blood. But so let's get back for our listeners. Then after it says Evil Dead Rise, boom, cuts to a completely different story.
Yep.
And it says one day
Yeah.
before,
One day earlier.
one day earlier, one day at a time, something like that. And then you see the single mom with a teenage daughter, a early teen or preteen son, and an elementary school daughter.
Yeah.
And the mom is a rock chick. She's dyeing her hair red. She's got her tattoos. Did you notice her tattoos were vines wrapped around her arms and leg?
I did not.
Yes, I did.
Just like the vines from Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Woo!
And
There was so many Easter eggs in this one.
and there was no, just so y'all know, there was no Oldsmobile.
What were they driving?
It wasn't an Oldsmobile, but the one that's been in all the other movies.
It's
Oh,
not
no?
a real Evil Dead.
Yeah, no, well, here's the thing. The chainsaw was painted the exact yellow of the Oldsmobile.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah. So you get the reference
Okay.
of having the chainsaw and the color of the Oldsmobile all in one.
And the shotgun.
I think they sold the Oldsmobile out. But those things are hard to come by nowadays.
I mean, that and they used it in Spider-Man. Uncle Ben got shot in Spider-Man with that damn car.
You think they could have got the same one from all of them?
It's his car.
Whatever.
What if he doesn't have it anymore?
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So then you see this other woman that you don't know who she is, and she's peeing on a pregnancy stick, and she's in the middle of a dirty rock club and all that, and the guy's banging on the door. Hey, what's going on? Blah 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 blah. She's like, give me 5 minutes. He's like, okay, boss. Come to find out, she's the boss lady, right? Which is going to come in very handy later on, because you find out she is a guitar technician for a famous musician, and she,
Technicianologist.
There you go. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar technicianologist. So there is a quote in the movie that I like, when Beth says, I'm going to get us out of here, I promise. And the little girl says, you're going to be a good mom someday, Auntie Beth. She goes, oh yeah? She says, yeah, you know how to lie to kids.
Yeah, she did. That shit was fucked up.
That little girl was years beyond her time.
Yeah.
Ahead of her
Oh
time.
Ahead of
man,
her
let me
time.
say this right now. In this movie. I can't wait. That kid, it was his fault.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was his
And
fault.
he knew it.
100%.
And he knew it was his fault.
100% that
So-
was his fault.
So with this type of movie, I know that all three of us like it. It's obvious to tell that we like this movie. We're probably going to rate it high. So these episodes, we're usually just like, yeah. So I'm going to try something new and try to tell a little bit of the story about it. And then we'll go by it scene by scene. And what do you think about that?
Oh man, that's like old school, like Cast of the Power. It's like start off shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going, man.
So the sisters, you find out that they hadn't talked to each other in a long time. And the guitar tech sister, Beth, shows up out of nowhere. And, she's like, look what I brought for everybody. And I even brought this for your dad. She tells the kids, and the kids are like, they look at mom. And mom's like, yeah, he left 2.5 months ago. And Beth says, well, you should have told me. And she goes, yeah, I did. So she checks her voice messages from 2.5 months ago. Who has voice messages from 2.5 months ago?
I do.
Oh, shit.
I never check my voicemail. It's always full, and it always says you have messages waiting to be deleted, and I have no idea what they are.
If it's a Cisco phone, just go 3-star, 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 3-star. Just delete that shit.
I could, but
But what if
maybe
they're
it's important.
We just said,
You're not gonna know with them just sitting there. Shit. Hey,
Yeah.
did you know this movie wasn't even supposed to be released at theaters? It was supposed to be an HBO Max movie.
for real?
Straight up.
Yep. And then it did so well in the test screenings, they're like, fuck it, let's make some money off it.
Wow.
Oh man, I can see that. HBO Max would have made some good showing on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for real,
So
man.
then they send the kids. You find out they're in a dilapidated building that's getting shut down next month. And rocker chick mom is such a good mom. She's like, well, I haven't found another place yet. And then you find out there's only a few people left on her floor. And you find out that the only way to get to the fire escape on that floor is to kick down a door in a barricaded room that's been... How are you going to have just that one room with a fire escape? And then they got doors from 1922 made out of adamantium. Fucking Wolverine's claws made these doors.
I don't understand when they had it when they first saw it that like that they just didn't break the lock then. What were you waiting for?
Yeah.
And on my own safety, I would have never let them lock it. What kind of stupid ass is that shit? Who's
Yep.
running that building?
See-
That's right. That's why it's getting condemned. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then they have the grumpy old guy neighbor down the hall that when you need him to be the grumpy ass old neighbor, he's not. Because if he would have been the get off my lawn neighbor, then he would have been like, hey, look, this motherfucker's walking on the roof. Blam. Blam. I mean, he did shoot her that one time, but you got to double tap, triple tap, quadruple tap.
Dude, he didn't know. He didn't know he didn't know about the evil of the dead. It didn't matter if he did double tap him. You know that, Josh. They was gonna get up.
I don't know. She didn't look
It
human.
only slows them down for a little while.
She didn't look human.
And did he look like an old William Shatner?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So she didn't look human. Wouldn't I
Yeah,
would
she,
already.
She looked very cracky McCrack.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so I would
Yeah.
be shooting.
and then she was at the
double
door.
tap.
She was at the door bleeding, and she was like, "I'm gonna wear your souls for a whatever." Blah, blam. There you go.
Yep.
Man, that hallway scene was crucial. Hey, wait. Get to the part about tell them about the records, dude.
Oh,
Tell
okay,
them about
okay.
them damn records.
So they send the kids to go get pizza in the middle of the night in Los Angeles, in a neighborhood that has dilapidated 13-story buildings. 13-story falling apart buildings. I'm just saying. So they come back with Henrietta Pizza. Do you know why the pizza company, the pizza store, the pizza restaurant, why it was called Henrietta?
Why?
That was the name of the demon in the basement, in the cellar in Evil Dead 2.
Huh.
And now you know.
Ding.
So anyways, they're coming back for pizza, and then an earthquake hits. They drop the fucking pizza, and then is he little brother or older brother?
He's
Middle
middle.
brother.
He's a middle brother.
He's the middle.
He starts, look, there's a hole in the ground. Let me get in it.
No, I think he might
Right.
be the oldest because she told him to take his sisters to go get pizza, and he was driving.
It does. Yeah, that's fine. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe they were twins. Maybe
Okay.
he's the middle brother, and the older sister has a driving complex and doesn't have a license.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She
anyways,
was the more mature one.
yeah. So anyways, there's holes in the ground. There's this big trench and all that where a chasm broke open to the gates of hell. Come to find out that the old 13-story building is an old bank. And the kid jumps into the hole in the ground immediately after an earthquake, because that's what you do, right? Right after an earthquake, you just jump into a hole.
Yeah.
in the ground?
Yeah.
Stupid mother.
Fuck, right. How wrong do you? Okay.
I don't live in a place where earthquakes happen all the time, but I know immediately after an earthquake, you don't jump in a hole in the ground
That was caused
by
by
the
earthquake.
Right. Where the ground has shifted?
Yeah.
No, you don't do that.
So he jumps down there, finds out he's in a big bank vault, right? Then he's walking around and he's opening the different, what do you call those things? The little boxes?
Security boxes.
Yeah, those boxes. And there's nothing in them. And then he falls down. Well, first of all, a big giant, like red oak, red cedar, some kind of red wood, mahogany Jesus,
Falls
like
forward.
12-foot tall Jesus falls out of the bank.
Yeah.
And
I was
then,
like, why was that there?
yeah. And then he walks into the next room where there's like 150, 200 crucifixes hanging from the roof. Hanging like how the Oracle had that bead thing in the Matrix covering her door. But picture like like 40 of those, but just each one of those being a crucifix.
Yeah.
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 And so what does this kid go? It'd be a good idea for me to dig around in all this. See, this is why, even if you don't believe in any type of God or anything like that, hey, that's your call. That's your business. I ain't got nothing to say, whatever, if that's your thing. But you have to at least learn about religions so you can be prepared for, if you walk into a room with 150 crosses, that's the room you don't want to fuck with.
Yep.
You know what? That's very true, Josh, because that family was not trained in any type of religious type of thing.
Yeah.
Because remember when she was laying on the bed and the neighbor came by and he said to her, I feel like I want to pray. Can I pray for her? And the first thing out of her sister's mouth, she's like, no, she's not religious. She doesn't know anything about like that.
That man, I'm gonna go off on a tangent right now. That's like when I tell somebody Merry Christmas, and they're like, I don't celebrate Christmas. Well, happy fucking Thursday to you then. You know, I mean, I'm not telling you nothing bad.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out, man.
I'm not saying that whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate's wrong. I'm just telling you something positive. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
That's
And-
like when you try to open a door for someone.
And this person's like she's dead. Let me see. Oh yes, Deborah, go ahead. What you're saying about opening doors?
And they get mad. I can open my own door. And you just slam the door in their face. Say, there you go. Open the door now.
We've had that situation.
Open the
oh,
door
wow.
now.
I was leaving a bank one time, Bank One. I don't need a man to open the door for me. I can open myself. Here you go, bitch. Quote unquote. I closed the door.
What happened? Did she
She looked at
open
me.
the door?
She looked at me like, you closed the door.
You said you can open it.
Yeah, right.
And for me, the word bitch is just like dude. It's for everybody. It is a non-gender word for me. That's my definition of it.
We're like, this bitch.
This dude.
you.
Same thing.
bitch.
Same thing.
It's all inclusive, right? It's
Equal,
all about being
equal
inclusive.
opportunity. Completely inclusive. If you're a bitch, you're a bitch. If you're a dude, you're a dude.
Oh shit.
I'd rather be a dude than a bitch, though. It just sounds good. Anyways.
Gonna be one of them days.
Yeah.
So then he finds underneath this rainforest of crucifixes. You know, the predator could have been hiding in those crucifixes. That's how
Right,
many
right,
were
right.
up there.
What do you find, Josh? Tell him what he found.
It looked like the Ark of the Covenant from
Yes, it did.
from
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then it just like starts crumbling and turning to dust and all that. And he digs in there, finds the
album.
Necronomicon,
Yep.
and he finds 3 different albums, which they show that he's a DJ. So he's interested in the DJ. They did fuck up on the records. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this is a movie that had tropes in it. There's our favorite word, tropes, that you have to have in order for it to work. So he opens up the book and his sister's there, and it's obviously wrapped with some kind of leather, some type of skin. I was telling somebody that at work, well, why do you have to say it's skin? I'm like, well, it's obviously leather. Well, yeah, well, why did you have to say it's skin? I'm like,
'Cause it's the Evil Dead.
But no, but not only that,
whatever you can say.
but no. Not only that, but well, why did you say it's wrapped with leather? Leather is skin.
Yeah.
It
But it's
literally-
human skin.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's made of human skin.
this person though was all like, well, why do you have to say it's skin? And it's like, well, do you have a wallet? Do you have shoes on? You're wearing skin. You're carrying skin in your back pocket. It just,
And they're like, and they threw their wallet to the floor.
I wish.
Here's something for you. Here's something that pointed out how stupid this kid was. When we first got the book, it was wrapped up. And remember when he unwrapped it, it had all those locusts came flying off of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when at that point, you don't have to. You're right, Josh. You don't have to be raised with too much sense about any type of religion to know, put this shit fucking back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I'm closing the book, putting it back. Sorry about that. See you later.
Then they open up. You look at the book, and it looks like it has the face,
Yeah.
like the other versions do, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And he's trying to open up. And let me tell y'all something. There's a word of advice to any listener out there. If you're trying to open anything and it has teeth,
It's a good chance you're gonna get bit.
yeah, you're either gonna get bit or you should just put it away. Put it away and fuck
Man.
off.
Yep.
Just let it go.
Yep.
Let it go.
So-
let it go.
Yeah, right. So here's something they said, and when that this was one of the 3 books.
One of the 3 volumes.
Yes, one of the 3.
Meaning there are 3 different Necronomicons. The one from the Evil Dead Army of Darkness universe. The one from the Evil Dead Ashley remake universe. Now this one. And that's how all 3 of them tie together.
Wow.
All three universes.
With that simple phrase right there.
Yep.
Beautiful.
If you listen closely, I think it's on the second record, you'll hear somebody say, "Put it back." That's why it's called the Book of the Dead. That's Bruce Campbell. That's Ash. And they're saying, they're saying since Ash was a time traveler, maybe he went back when they were recording this, and he was telling that priest that recorded these records
To
put it back. That's what it's the Book of the Dead.
Man, they just set it all up, don't they? They just rope you all in.
So this is the part that upsets me. And I know I said that I wasn't going to go too deep into stuff and their movies. We just need to enjoy it. But every single time they played one of those records, they had to backmask it. And for the younger people that don't know what backmasking is, it's when you start a record, but then you spin it in the opposite direction at almost the correct speed or at the correct speed because it's recorded backwards.
But he wasn't doing it backwards.
Every time he played
The record and he was listening to the priest talking, he was backmasking it. He was going backwards.
That's why he had to use his finger to do it.
Finger to move it, yeah. What, Deb?
I was trying to think because it looked like he was going forward, but I might be wrong.
But then later on,
that's a little bit too rough. Let me say something. That's another reason why that might not be something you need to be listening to.
Yeah,
that's a little difficult to figure out. Okay, wait a minute. They put it on backwards.
I have a question. Okay. So how did he? Well, I know he was trying to be a DJ or whatever, but he barely found this. How did he know to go backwards?
Because he played it and they were talking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And
when he first played it,
if you want to hear it the other way, then you spin the disc the other way. Deborah, you never tried to talk to the devil when you were a kid?
No, why would I?
Oh.
Josh? Wait a minute. I mean, the first record I ever played backwards was Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
And what happened?
Go ahead.
Nothing. There was that skit that he had in there where he had like Prince had like a part on the album where it was like backwards or something like that. So if you played it forward, you played it around, you could hear exactly what they were saying.
The only thing
it's been so long since I heard it.
The only thing Deborah knows about playing music backwards is Missy Elliott. Whatever that one song that.
That's backwards?
Yeah, when she says she's gonna play it, flip it around, reverse it.
I thought she was just making that noise.
Shit. Are you joking?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you just trying to make bad jokes for the pod, Deborah?
Come on, man. She's trying here, man.
Okay.
She's doing it.
I will tell you, let's stop for a bad Josh story. True life bad Josh story. The first time I heard Purple Rain, I was mad. Because my Tia Becky, my aunt Becky, she was at these apartments and they were having a pool party at the apartments. And I guess it wasn't a DJ, it was just somebody playing records. He had it on the wrong speed, right? And so all you heard was, "I never meant to cause you any trouble." It was too low. It was wrong. And then I heard Purple Rain. And I'm like, somebody wrote a song about Prince's songs? I hadn't heard Purple Rain yet, but I knew the movie Purple Rain was out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, somebody sang a song about Prince's movie that I wanted to go see, by the way. Not only because Prince is amazing, but Apollonia.
Yeah, Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah. I'd already heard about that. Movie had only been out like a day and a half. I'd already heard about it. No internet or anything like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but this is like 1985. So was it 8? No, was it? Yeah. So somewhere. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I mean,
okay, but back to Evil Dead. So he catches his finger on these stank ass yellow sharp Wolverine, looking like the creature from whatchamacallit, Twilight Zone movie that was on the wing. Teeth. Just porcupine quill looking bent teeth. And he bleeds on the book. And they saw the blood get absorbed into the book.
Yeah.
And then the teeth opened like, here you go.
Whew. Feeds off of pain and misery.
Yep.
Jeez.
So he listens to the first 2 records. And of course, just like in all the other movies, it's got the words. And what happens? Here comes the demon and smacks right into the redheaded rocker mom.
You know, that's one thing. He did try to stop it. He did try to stop it, and he couldn't stop it. Once he started it, it could not stop. You know, because he shocked his hand once. He was trying to pull it off, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't. Once he started that second disc, it was doing it by itself.
Pod people, if you ever have to pass a 15-foot tall redwood mahogany Jesus to go into a room with 365 crucifixes hanging from the roof, and then you got to break into the Ark of the Covenant and pull out a book that had, I'm going to say it right now. Everybody talks about the Snickers bar having dick veins on it. This book had a giant dick vein on the side of it.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't have the face, but it had teeth and a dick vein. And if you got to bleed on a dick vein to read this book and then play the records backwards, you know.
And it was covered with locusts.
Yeah, locusts that had been wrapped up for decades and they were still alive. You should have done. You should have stopped already. I'm just saying.
Right.
None of our listeners, even if this is the first time you've ever listened to us, none of y'all would ever be that dumb.
Nope.
Unless your name's Chuck.
It was all his fault.
Chuck.
It was all his fault.
Chucky's fault?
Because there was no reason he should have did any of that shit.
His sister tells him, you did this, and later on in the movie he's like, it's my fault, and she's like, no, but she was lying because she was trying to be a good sister.
She was lying. She was lying her ass
100% his fault.
He should have not jumped in the hole in the first place.
No blue dress or green dress or what's that shit that was out from a couple years ago? You didn't know what it was saying, what color the dress was?
I don't know.
Remember that thing was on the internet and people were all arguing and all that. Well, I see a blue dress. I see a green black dress. I see a wood. People just didn't have nothing to do except argue about internet bullshit.
Right.
Like, hey, I want to say something. I want to say something, and I want to be a little bit like I used to be back in the day. Deborah and I used to have a public access TV show, and I used to start the TV show. I realize we're 42 minutes into this already, but we used to start the TV show with me saying like, hey, sometimes we're going to say some stuff you don't like. You have every right to change the channel and watch something else. It's the same thing with the pod. There's a bajillion pods out there. We love every single people, every single people, every single person, every pod person that listens to this. And we appreciate your time and all that. But if we say something fucked up, like earlier I said the word bitch, and then change the channel. It's not even a channel. What the fuck? Change the pod. Listen to the...
No, man, they good, man. They know. They've already been warned, bro. They're here. They're here because we know we were going to give them the real shit.
Well, see, I know our real pod people know that, but it's just in case it was like one or two people that.
Oh, that's right. We do have those new listeners.
Well, not necessarily
have all those new listeners.
Not necessarily the new listeners either, because the new listeners are smart enough because they have been warned, just like on the intro and all that. But there's those people that are like, I hate that motherfucker. I'm gonna listen to every single thing they say.
Well, then hit them off with this shit, Josh. What you got to say?
I don't know. I forgot.
I was like, where are you going with this?
You got yourself all wild up.
I was like, I thought we
How
went through
stupid
this
this
in the
kid is,
beginning.
right?
So getting back into the Evil Dead Rise, it hits the mom, and the mom stabs the daughter in the hand. No, she stabs the sister in the hand, right? With a piece of broken glass.
Wait for this. Wait. Here's something else. Okay, what would the mom say when the kids came back and they came in? She said, what is the first thing she told them?
Oh, she was like, blah, 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 saying a nice little story. And she goes,
she said, well, don't ever come out of an elevator, get in an elevator during an earthquake.
During an earthquake. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did she do?
She got in the elevator after the earthquake. She got thrown all over the place. And then she got tied up with cords, kind of like the Vine scenes.
I thought they were going there.
They didn't go there, but they went there.
Yeah. I was like, really? You had to do that? And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there was no elevator cord penetration.
Yeah. Just some messed up ass shit. That thing like twisted her body like all crazy, like, right?
Yeah.
And then it did what everybody. I don't care if you've ever been in an elevator as a kid. Sometimes as an adult, I know every single person that's ever been in an elevator, unless you're completely ignorant. You might just not remember it. Thinking about it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. You're gonna be on the roof. It's gonna hit the bottom. Then you're gonna splat on the bottom. Y'all ever thought that?
I have.
I just get in the thing and push the button.
I don't like elevators.
I do count the weight though. I do count the weight.
Like,
I'm like,
I be looking at people. I be like, okay.
I'm like,
all right.
I'm 275.
I'm getting off.
Yeah, I'm 275. These 4 other people that are 3 inches shorter than me are definitely a lot more than I weigh.
Yeah.
you're like, I'm getting off at the next floor. I can walk.
I'm getting off now. I'll take the next one.
Cobweb's gonna go and ruin my whole point.
What?
Smashing my dreams, bro.
What was your
So
point?
what's the point?
I was gonna show that we all think the same thing. We're all united in the fear of elevators. It's not my fault that my brain works worst case scenario. Every room I walk into, I look for the exits. I look for the how would I come in and fuck shit up if I was coming into this room. How would I do? I can't help it. I don't know if I have ADHD or some kind of. Every single time I walk into a room, doesn't matter if it's a room in my house or if it's at a concert with 200,000 people. We were at a concert with 447,000 people.
Yeah.
And
all my brain is going is like, this is you can take out this people. This is how you can take out these people. This is how you can take this. This is the
yo. Okay. I just got one finished. We gonna talk about that later.
My paranoid whatever mind just does the math like that. I can't help it.
Oh,
I don't
bro.
act on it, but
man.
it just it's always in security mode. That's why I was so good being security.
Yeah, security is always things like that. If you're thinking on the defensive mode for everything, I can understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But this in this movie,
I want to see if I can find this quote. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You said the quote. What you talking about?
I'm looking for the.
Oh, okay. When she first showed up, Deb, when the mom showed up, and she came in there and she started frying those eggs.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you think it was going to get that bad? That bad?
Did I think it was going to get that bad? No.
Yes.
Well,
and then that's the line I'm looking for. That's the line I'm looking for. She's breaking all the eggs and they're like, what's going on? She's like, no, I was just having this beautiful dream that we were all together and I cut you open and crawled into your bodies and wore your skin like a suit or something like that.
She said something about their souls. But you know what I think? You know what I just realized though?
What?
She said about cutting their skins open, right? And then being one, that's what she said, being one with their soul.
Something like that.
And then at the end, that's when the brother and sister became one with her.
Well, that was in the book too. We didn't even got to that. When they start digging their hands into her and they become like this giant spider and not like that shitty spider from the end of It.
Yeah, that shit was so fucked
Man.
up. Oh yeah, because everything in the book, it happened to her. She changed it to like everything that happened in the book that they saw
She
in
became.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something happened to her. You know what I'm saying?
So
that whole scene, that hallway was fucked up. That whole scene with the when she had that tattoo thing and attacked her daughter.
The tattoo machine, yeah.
Yeah, the tattoo machine. Man.
There was a lot of.
I liked the voice that they were giving her when she was talking with
as a demon.
Yeah, when Danny, the boy, sees her and he goes, "Mom," and he goes, "Mommy's with the maggots now." Like it wasn't all like trying to be ho 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 or whatever. It sounded just like, I don't know.
Yeah, the voices were good.
When the sister, when she got it. And when she was sitting up there, and she was sitting up there eating that glass.
Yes, that was ugly.
And
then
I was like, oh my god!
You could see the glass going down her throat.
Yes.
Oh, that was so raw. That was so raw.
I was like covering my eyes the whole time.
That's when she started chunking up pieces of meat, and it just.
Yeah, and it was because it was her skin, right, or her insides.
Her innards.
Yeah, that was ugly. I was like, oh.
You know, there was something kind of weird to me where I was trying to figure out, like, when they covered up the sister and he wrapped her up, you know what I'm saying? And he tied her to the bed, but she got loose anyway. And she still had those blankets on her. I don't know why they just left her with the blankets on her and they just didn't take it off.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the actor that day, the actress that day to be there or something like that. I couldn't find anything in the notes. I was thinking the same thing. Why did they leave her covered up that whole time?
Yeah. It didn't make any sense to me at all.
Now, so everybody gets it. The mom becomes a demon. The son becomes a demon. The oldest daughter becomes a demon, right? The little girl and the sister, which is the aunt, they get away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how did the curse get to the cabin? And the cabin was friends with the people there were friends with the oldest daughter. Like she was supposed to.
She lived in the building. She lived in the building, and she went to the cabin. She went away to the cabin.
That's right.
And they got her in the garage
because she was leaving the garage, and that's when she found all the blood from the wood chipper.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. I was overcomplicating it.
Yeah, that junk was crazy. That whole thing remember when those dudes swallowed the eyeball?
Yes, and then that's when she bit the brother.
The eyeball out of
his brother.
So next door neighbors, it's an older brother and like two little brothers, right?
Yeah.
And then the next door neighbor to them is the old grumpy guy with the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. And then she bit the eye from the older brother, turned around, spit it out, and the younger brother swallowed it.
And choked.
And choked
to death. Died on his brother's eyeball.
He's got his eye on him.
See, that was more Sam Raimi body horror, gore type stuff that, I mean, took it to another level.
You know what scared me? When they were, the whole hallway thing, but looking through the eyepiece through the door and seeing the whole thing, and like she was walking by, and then that's when you see the grumpy neighbor shoot her with
a shotgun,
and then she comes back, and then she kills the neighbor, and she's just there, and then she looks into the eye, like they're staring at each other because the peepholes on the door, they scare me. Just a no.
I can understand that, Deb. That shit scared me.
I don't like looking through the doors.
Yeah.
Because I always have a feeling like if I look, then someone's going to be looking right back at me. And that's going to scare the shit out of me. So I try not to look.
Do we have any problem with any of the casting? Was anybody wrong for this movie?
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I do like how that was shot, though. How that was shot, that whole hallway scene.
Yeah, because it just held. It held on that camera that looked through the peephole.
Yeah.
And told a whole story.
That was dope.
Mm-hmm.
That was really dope. And wait about when the brother got stabbed in the arm. Oh, with that knife. Oh man, that was hard, right?
Yeah.
It was like she was just like
bicep.
cutting off the. Straight through the flesh, like she was just skinning them. That was rough. That was rough right there. There was a lot of hard stuff in this movie to sit through. I had this lady at my job, right? She told me that she went and saw it at the movies too when it came out. She's never seen any of them before.
What? Oh,
and she said that this was her first one ever seeing. And she's like, it wigged. She said it was too much blood. I don't understand. What the hell's going on? I don't understand. What is this evil? What the book? She was like, I told her there was a bunch of them. She was like, a series. She's like, oh Lord, no.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny because she was serious. She said she hated it. She said she couldn't grasp it. She didn't understand what was really going on about the book and everything else like that. But I thought that it kind of picked up regardless. You got a good understanding about what was going on without understanding all the tropes and everything else like that, but just letting it ride.
I think this movie would have done, even if it wasn't Evil Dead, like if they would have named it something else, I think it would still been a good horror movie. And if you know the other movies, just having the book, the chainsaw, the different things that they have that's part of Evil Dead, you know that, so that gives you extra. But I think this movie would have done good if it was named something else too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like a standalone movie.
It was a good horror movie.
Yeah,
that's one thing that it was a pure horror film from beginning to end. I know at the end when they took the little girl, and she got away, I was like, man, it's been a good run.
So
I mean, I don't know her. I don't know if I could have went back.
Cobweb, you're not going to be able to see this because we don't have Deborah's camera on, right? But I'm going to see if she realizes that the mom is an actress from one of her favorite shows.
She looked familiar, but
don't
I couldn't
look,
remember.
Deborah. I'm going to move it over to your screen. Okay, now look. You still don't recognize her?
No.
That's the queen from Vikings.
Yes.
See, there you go. Now you know.
I knew she looked familiar, but I couldn't figure out. She looks different in Vikings.
I definitely do not want to say, especially out loud, especially in a podcast, especially when Deborah's sitting right next to me, across the other room, across this room with headphones on, because there's no way she's possibly going to not hear this. I don't want to say that Beth, at the end of the movie, after the wood chipper scene, she's just completely drenched in blood.
Yeah.
She was rather attractive, just completely drenched in blood with her big eyes and all that.
That turns you on?
I those are your words, not mine.
Okay.
I would never say anything like that.
Right. That's that's hardcore, man.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that. Completely drenched in movie blood.
Movie blood.
That for a fact is movie blood.
Okay. Oh man, dude, she was.
What are you doing?
You and this winking and shit. That shit was dope, man. I mean, I can't really think of when I saw. The only thing I did not like about this movie was some of the dialogue. Where they were trying to build the character development between each other and stuff like that. That seemed it was a little dry, but you got the gist of it pretty quickly, So that was about it, really. I'm
gonna have to watch it again when it's on HBO Max to see what you're talking about. I didn't see it that way, but I'm gonna go back because there was a whole bunch of the movie where I was like, I'm not gonna look. Not that I was scared.
I think it was like some of the conversations that they were having with the kids. Oh, wait. Remember the scene when she went to go back and listen to the record?
Yeah.
Right, so she could figure out what happened.
And she played it the right way.
Right, and you see her sister coming down out of the corner and shit like that.
Oh, yes, that was scary.
Wait, and then when she turned around, and she took her finger and put it down there and opened up her mouth and the record started playing out her mouth.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I'm just going to throw this out. There was a lot of parts in this movie where I had to close my eyes. But then I would peek a little. Because there was a lot of blood. And there was different, the arm thing with the stab. There was the eating the glass. A lot of stuff was just making me oh. I had to close my eyes. I don't want to see this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, out of all the Evil Dead movies, my favorite has been Army of Darkness, followed by the Evil Dead remake. But now I'm going to have to say, for me, it is Army of Darkness, still, this movie, the remake, and Evil Dead 2 tied, and then the first one is my least favorite.
Yeah. That Army of Darkness is so good because of Ash, and it's so iconic, and it's so, you know, it's got the member berries all over it, you know.
The member berries.
You know, it does.
I remember.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it's got all over it. But this one right here, you know, that's one thing. Like I said, I've seen all the Evil Deads right now within the last month. I've seen like every single one, you know. And as I'm watching these, I kept saying that they just keep getting better and better and better and better.
Yep.
I haven't seen any deterioration of this franchise falling off.
And I'm not tired of
they
it.
kick out another
anyway.
they kick out another Evil Dead movie. It's going to be great. Don't let them put something in and put Ash in it too. Oh shit! People will lose their goddamn minds.
Yep. You think there'll be? What? You think there'll be a part 2?
There has to be. They have to put Bruce Campbell in a movie somehow, some way before he gets much older.
But then Evil Dead 2, the original Evil Dead 2 was just basically part 1. So how would they, unless they do part 2 and then just continue off from when they were from the beginning of the movie?
In Army of Darkness, he travels through time. Army of Darkness is a direct after part 2. He goes into the past, and then he sleeps until the future where the world's falling apart. But then there has to be something where he figured out a way to go back in time or something like that. We're not going to get into time travel right now until we talk about Army of Darkness, which we are doing because it was a Pod Person Club 3P request, which we will be getting to Army of Darkness soon. We were actually going to do it this week, but then it was like, let's talk about Rise.
Yep.
Thank you, Cowboy.
Yeah. Ain't no problem.
So,
anytime.
I wish I had the sound effect for like, oh, it didn't even come out right. Damn it, like a doom, 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 doom.
You just did it.
Like walking up, doom. And it's been like time for the calculator of doom, doom, you know?
Oh, like it's coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be dope, man. We got to get that.
So, with that being said, who wants to go first? You know what we can do? You know what we can do?
What?
Whoever's week it is to be warning people, they're the first ones for the calculator of doom.
Boom.
Yes.
Set it off, Deb.
Okay. So, y'all are going to be mad. What? I give this movie an 8.
Oh. Why would we be mad about an 8?
Because I'm pretty sure y'all going to give it a 9 or a 10. And the only reason, and I didn't talk about this during the podcast, like earlier, is
We're still on
I know, but before we did the calculator of doom. So the only reason I would have gave this a 10 because this is a really good movie. But the only thing I didn't like was how at the end of the movie when the girl comes down, like she's going into the car and whatever, I don't like how she got attacked. And then, it's supposed to go to the beginning of the movie where she's already, I don't get the in-between thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't...
The ghost was like,
yeah, but...
I'm gonna take this bitch over. And then they started driving, and he was like, this is a nice drive. This is a nice breeze. I'm enjoying myself. And then the demon was like, hey, we're at this cabin. This is kind of cool. And just kind of like snoozed off for a while, and then woke up and was like, oh, I got shit to do.
I don't like that. So that's my opinion. That's the only reason why it dropped down from a 10 to an 8. Because I don't understand that part. Because when they got the mom and they got the brother and the sister, they like that. And so the demon got into her And it waited the whole time
So
because
they've
been at the cabin.
I get
hold
you,
on.
Deb. I thought about that too, Deb.
They were at the cabin for a while. So, because she had been taking a nap the whole time.
This is why I think it happened. No jokes or anything like that this time. So when the demon takes them over, it can read their minds. It knows everything about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it knew that they were supposed to go out to this cabin and there was supposed to be a bunch of people. Now, if he would have fucked her up before they got out there, it wouldn't have gone around all those people. And it knew that there was going to be some debauchery going on, some messed up stuff going on. That's what their plans were. So it wanted this group of messed up people, not just anywhere where there might be some innocent, some pure person or whatever that can stop it. So it wanted to go out there to the cabin where all this messed up stuff was going to happen, where all the tropes were going to happen of premarital sex and drinking and drugs and all that. And then after none of the friends went because they all stood her up, they left her on red except for the boyfriend and the one friend that she drug out there and then literally drug her head off later on.
Her cousin.
Then the demon couldn't take it anymore and was like, fuck it. We're just going to go out here right now.
I can see that.
Boom.
I don't know. I still don't like it.
Boom.
No,
Boom.
Deb's got a point.
Once again, I am the greatest. Boom.
Yeah, but did you get
That's why I got that 0.1 extra.
Did
You
you
know,
get a
there you go
notebook at
again.
work? Did you get a notebook from work that says you're awesome? No, I did. So, boom.
Ooh.
33.4.
33% of awesomeness right here.
Okay, so Deb, you gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
You're next, my friend. What did you give it?
I'm going to give it a 9.5.
9.5.
My biggest thing that I did not like, the one scene that I thought sucked, was when they were trying to hide from the demon around the car.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of stupid how that planned out. I mean, this is a demon. All I have to do is just jump on the top of the car.
This is
I
what
mean, like that was dumb.
I think that it was preoccupied with the different brains. So now it's a demon brain and then the three other souls that are in there. And it was a little confused and a little goofy and didn't know how to control the body, the spider body yet.
Because it was new.
That was the worst form. That was the weakest form
I
that
agree.
it took.
I agree. Actually, it wasn't even really like a spider. It was like a Cerberus, a 3-headed dog.
Yeah.
So I give
You know what? Make that a 9. Make that a 9.
Oh man, I just did the math. I gotta clear this out.
That's how you should go ahead of yourself.
All right, so
I forgot how much
you,
that pissed
Deborah,
me
you
off.
gave
That
it an
scene
8.
pissed me
I
Right?
off.
gave it an 8.
All right.
The Cobwebs gave it a 9.
All right. So we give this movie.
Wait, you didn't say what you gave it.
I give it a 9. So this movie gets an 8 point, almost infinity 6. So I mean, you round it up to a 9.
So I got a 9. Sounds good.
8.6. But yeah, it was definitely worth watching. It is sick. If so, somebody brought up to me at work who listened to our podcast that our podcast isn't scary. I've never claimed, I don't know if either one of you two have ever claimed that we have a scary podcast. We
Nope.
watch horror
No.
movies and we break it down our way.
Yep.
And sometimes it's talking
Yeah.
shit. Sometimes it's making jokes. Sometimes it's being serious. Sometimes it's like, I can't believe Cobweb picked this fucking movie.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait. Cobweb picked this movie.
Yes, sir. And you made up for Dark Side of the Moon. Shark Side of the Moon. Shark Side of the Moon. Now I gotta go listen to Dark Side of the Moon just because it's a great album. But anyways, so are you ready for Chucky's call?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know that I said in the last podcast that I'm gonna start not hosting like me be on his podcast, but I'm gonna host his files. And I told him if he wanted to make sure that he could be working with us, not in Cast of the Pod, but his own. It's Scary Movies with Chucky's. That's his podcast. It's not live yet. It's not active yet, but that's what it's going to be. And
Why do I feel?
so
I'm getting upset.
No, don't be upset. Don't be upset. Trust me, it's worth it.
But Deb, doesn't it feel like that he's cheating on us?
I'm not on his podcast, mister. You called him.
Yeah, but that's different, man. I'm not like helping him, like, work on this podcast. We got other stuff to do, man. And he's not even paying us.
Hey, but it's more programming. That way, maybe we get some more hits. Maybe brings in some money, and then it helps us in the long run. But anyways, you ready for his call?
We always got to play it. What they call it, pay up or something like that. Play it up or something like that.
Something like that. But are you ready for his call? I told him he needed to see Evil Dead Rise. You know he really doesn't like scary movies, right?
Wait a minute. You let him watch this? I just realized this. He play the tape.
I told him he needed to watch this movie and call us about it if he wanted a podcast of his own.
And you heard the call already?
He's probably still haven't went to sleep.
You heard the call already?
I've heard this call already.
No wonder you're anxious to play it.
I wanted to get to it an hour ago. Ready?
Hello, this is Chucky. I don't think it's funny, but it's not funny. Josh told me to watch the movie Evil Dead Rises. And I watched the movie, and I paid in the theater to go see the movie. The movie's scary.
Poor guy.
He said that he was going to give me a podcast if I watched the movie. I watched the movie, but I don't know. Hello, Dad. Hello. Hello, cobwebs. The movie. Oh man. That was pretty scary. And I'm going to have my podcast now. So, thank you. I give the movie a lot. Okay, bye.
We can do that? Give the movie a lot?
He gave it a lot?
He gave the movie a lot.
That's a new rating? What is that, a lot? A lot of what? Oh, Josh, you did this to him on purpose. This to him on purpose. He said, I precisely had said that if you watched the movie, he would get a podcast. You knew this man couldn't handle no Evil Dead Rise. You knew this, and you set him up anyway. Man, look. It's like work with Eric Cartman in here.
Look. The commercials for this shit has been everywhere for Evil Dead Rise. Right? Commercials have been for it everywhere.
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He knows that he doesn't like scary movies, right?
Right.
I didn't think he was really going to watch it. I didn't think he was going to pay to go to the theater to watch it. I thought this was going to be my way out to not have to give him podcast space. And I thought he was going to be like, nope, I'm not watching that shit, and I'll just do my own thing. But he went and he watched it. It sounded like he really watched it.
Yeah.
Well,
like Deb said, that was probably, she had to cover her eyes.
He really wants his podcast, Josh. And
now he's going to get
it. You signed up for that one. Good luck with that one. Hey, Deb, let's start working on hashtags. Hashtag Josh just screwed up. Hashtag now I got to start a podcast with Chucky.
I'm not going to be on this podcast. Are you going to be on this podcast?
I'm not going to be on this podcast.
Man, I show up for any type of, if the money is right.
Wow.
Have you already done one?
I asked him, I said, how are you going to record? Right? He's recording on his phone. He doesn't even have like earpods or.
Is he just like calling the hotline?
I'm just picturing him. I'm picturing him holding the phone right here. He called the hotline, but for his podcast, I don't know how he's doing it. He said he's doing it on his phone. I'm picturing him holding his phone in front of him, like an ice cream sandwich that he's about to eat with one swallow, Like those people that are on the phone in public, like
on speakerphone.
Like don't listen to my business, but I'm gonna yell it out loud. I got my speakerphone on in front of my face. That's how I picture him recording his podcast.
I can see that. I can see that very much, or him just calling his voicemail, leaving a long ass message of his review.
Yeah,
I can see that too.
right. I can definitely see that.
So
good luck, Chucky. Welcome to our world, fellow podcaster.
All right, so to all our pod people and our Patreon pod people, that's Club 2P and Club 3P. Thank you very much for spending time with us this week. I think we're done. Do y'all agree, or is that it for today?
I'm good, dude.
Yep.
All right. So we gave Evil Dead Rise, the 2023 continuation of the Evil Dead story by a new director. 8.6 rounds up to a 9 if you want to go there. We all three of us enjoyed the movie, and apparently our faithful call-in sounded like he liked the movie. But yeah, so until next time, you can hit us up on all social medias at Cast the Pod. If you want to talk directly to Cobweb, you can hit him up at Cobweb411. There's no S's in there. COBWEB 411. And then you can also hit up Patreon if you want, even if you're not doing Patreon, it's something y'all can help us out with. Go leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and drop in a couple stars or some likes and all that. That actually helps. That gets us out there to other people that aren't like on our social medias or anything like that. So Oh yeah. Big shout out to
interact with us.
Big shout out to Matt Martinez also for talking to me about Patrices.
I saw that.
But all right, y'all. So until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Cobweb.
And I'm Deb. And you have been warned.
Peace.
Lottie.